Now we're going to get into the specifically celebrating part of the night with the BICAWs. And I think the first thing, Molly, you should do is explain the BICAWs because people may not know.
You're actually pronouncing it wrong. It's BICAW. And that's because Paul Seal thought it would be a good idea. Is Paul here still? Paul? To make a funny name out of Bicycle Awards, BICAW, Bicycle Awards. So that is the story there, and I thought it was funny. Sometimes I wonder if we should just move along past that, but but fun is one of our priorities. So exactly. So I'm going to ask Jensen if he's willing to assist me in this portion of the evening. We. We have 3 awards to give out today. They have all been crafted by trophy craftsman / bicycle mechanic Jensen Didolo. The first one is the award for bicycle-friendly business, but the description is organizations that encourage and support cycling for their employees, customers, and/or community. I'm pretty excited to give this award to St. Aidan's Anglican Church, and through them, Reverend Kevin George. I hope that Kevin will say a few words about the story behind this, but I found it really inspiring. It started with St. Aidan's having an event in June called Blessings of the Bicycles, which I thought was pretty cool. And they had a group ride and blessings on bicycles. Amen to that. And and then they did a bigger and more even exciting project than that, which was getting bikes donated and fixed up and given to migrant workers, which is amazing. So Kevin, I'll say, was actually nominated in the Community Hero category, and the church was nominated. So I think that's worth noting. I'll just read a little bit of that. Kevin is a cyclist, social advocate, and priest who organized the Blessings of the Bicycle and Community Ride, June 12th, as well as Kevin is a very strong advocate for social justice, believing in the value of all people. When presented with the need of migrant workers, Kevin reached out to the community and delivered almost 100 bikes, knowing how important these bikes are to empower the workers who labor on the farms in the area. So, and I did visit St. Aidan's a week or so ago, and you can see, Kevin yourself was in Newfoundland, but from the church, it was clear that there's a strong interest in social justice, respect for nature, and reconciliation, and it seems like a pretty good place. So, Kevin, and for St. Aidan's, if you don't mind.
Just want to say thank you to everyone. I'm joined here tonight by my wife, Catherine Ann, and by 2 wardens from the church, Donna Stevenson and Peter Anderson. And please give them a big hand. They're good people. We're not really your typical business, but we're happy to have a business award. But I have to say, yes, very ironic, yeah. But I have to say to you guys that Peter and I were just chatting out here when we were getting an appropriate adult beverage. It feels like we found our people. You're like, somebody said that earlier, and it's like, oh my gosh, we found our people. Thank you, and we intend to be members here and be a part of this. I know sometimes, church can get a bit of a bad rap because we've done so many shitty things over the years. And some of us are really working hard to try and create inclusive, open, welcoming, affirming congregations and communities. And St. Aidan's is one of those places. And I'm fortunate to be the priest there with a group of people who are prepared to welcome people from all walks of life, to embrace people wholly for who they are, and people who take seriously the call of what we believe is our baptismal call to walk in the way of Jesus, which is to respect the dignity of every human being. So when we see another's dignity assaulted or removed, it's important for us to advocate and to speak up. And so for us, when we see the deaths that we've seen on our streets this year, we try and speak up. When we saw what was happening and continues to happen with migrant workers, I have to tell you, Peter and Catherine M. were with me and my colleague when we went down to deliver those bikes to a farm where there are 300 migrant workers, mostly from Jamaica, under 170 acres under one roof, a greenhouse. 300 workers with no way to get off the farm. So 100 bikes meant they had a bike share program that meant they could leave, get into the town, get something to eat, just get away from it all. And so a bike was liberation. 2 wheels are liberating. You all know that because you use them. And we were just so excited by what that did, what that provided for people, that we hope to expand that. I've been talking to our diocesan counterparts across southwestern Ontario. We want to set this up in all the major cities, Windsor, Kitchener, London, Chatham, to be able to collect bikes. And I have to say a word about AJ McCollum. AJ, some of you may know, because AJ was a bike repair guy for many years at one of our local shops. But he was hit twice by a car, and both times sustained very serious brain injury. And he's no longer able to work. He survives with the help of a wonderful support dog called Leo. And AJ was not doing much, and I went to him, I said, "Do you feel up to repairing bikes?" And he said, "Yeah, I can do a few a day." And I think he thought I was going to show up with 12 bikes. So did I. But we ended up with 100 bikes. And God bless him, he and Leo, they fixed them all up. It was just amazing. And so there were so many good things that came out of that. And we look forward to more opportunities with London Cycle Link, with the wider London cycling community, to find ways to do more, because we believe these bicycles, the riding of them, the need for a cleaner environment, more active transportation, we believe that's a part of our divine call. We need to respect and honor not just everybody, but God's creation. And so for us, this is very, very meaningful, and we couldn't thank you enough. One last word. Is there anybody here named Pat who helped scrape a guy up off a Fanshawe Road when he fell off his bike in August? I've been trying to find Pat ever since I went out over my handlebars and had to get an ambulance to take me away. So if you know a guy named Pat who did that, let me know. I just thought this might be a spot to find him. Molly, all of you, thank you so much for this. It'll hang in our church with a great deal of pride, and we look forward to finding projects we can do together. So God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Such a pleasure to meet you. And I'm glad our timing worked out, that you were back in town. Our next award is the Cycling Community Hero Award for individuals who promote cycling in their community through volunteerism, events, encouragement, or leading by example. We have a wonderful example of all of that. And I will read... Well, okay. The award is going to Alex Bast of the Orange Wheel Bike Club, Outspoken Cycles, and other things. I'm going to just read a little bit of one of the nominations that came in support of Alex. In the summer of 2021, Alex noticed a lack of inclusive cycling groups in the Forest City. He came up with the idea for a cycling group that would be free for everyone to enjoy, be themselves, and participate in. He dubbed this group Orange Wheel. After discussing possible ride types and partnering with a local bike shop, Gremlins, for a weekly Thursday night ride, he quickly realized what he thought was needed really was needed. Almost overnight, the Instagram grew to have over 500 followers, and members were expressing their curiosity. Quickly, the Thursday night ride grew from 20, 30, 50, up to over 80 people. This didn't come without its own challenges. Creating different safe routes every week that would allow every member to participate became difficult. Ensuring that members were safe on rides and enough volunteers led the group was a weekly uphill battle. He also introduced slower rides on Fridays and Saturdays for young ones to come out and learn how to safely ride in groups and to give parents the chance to socialize while involving their families. Orange Wheel expanded to do out-of-towner rides, where members would sign up for a chance to ride long distance out of the city in a safe and welcoming group. Space was saved on each of these rides for minority groups in the cycling world, and they quickly filled. Orange Wheel rides may not have happened this past summer, but the community lives on in its members. Lifelong friendships have been made, and members continue to ride together and build confidence. Alex also sought out to bring the Bicycle Film Festival to the city this past year, but timing was not in his favor. The time frame has been adjusted to 2023. This was written, but I had the pleasure of working with Alex on that, and I'm really looking forward to bringing the Bicycle Film Festival to London. As an aside, Alex paid initial costs for the festival out of pocket, this is true, and is passionate about bringing a larger cycling community to our city. We hope to get those costs back to you. By day, he works as a mechanic at Outspoken Cycles, but it doesn't end there. He's constantly repairing bikes for his community and teaching others how to ride in every different type of style. He's the welcoming face that the cycling community needed and individuals feel safe with. London is truly lucky to have someone as passionate as Alex pedaling the streets. I couldn't have said anything better than that. So on that, Alex.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Orange Wheel kind of just started. I used to live a block from the Colburn Street bike lanes, and I've been a cyclist forever. And when COVID began and people weren't working, and obviously cycling had that huge boom, there was just so many people. Like, I'm in my apartment, there's just like people on bikes. And I was just like, why don't we all just ride bikes together? So I started this Instagram, and yeah, like Molly said, it just like within 2-3 weeks it had gone from like 20 people to 80 people, and we started in July, late June or early July, I don't remember, and by the end of the summer it was like 100 people every Thursday. And the Friday rides, the out-of-town rides, we did velodrome. We took people to the velodrome to get their track 1 certification, which people, like, I know there's a bunch of you here that have been on the rides. I recognize some of you came to the velodrome. People that never ride clipped in or cages, never ride a fixed gear bike before. First time at the velodrome. And then, the film festival, working with Molly, was a huge undertaking. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out this year, but in some capacity, we'll do something in the future. Thank you. Hopefully Orange Wheel can do something. There's obviously risks involved, and like it was supposed to be free. Like, the whole point was for it to be free if you want to. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with paid cycling clubs. Obviously, there's a place for that, but it was supposed to be free and inclusive. But it's hard to manage risks of carrying 100 people around town with no income. So it was like, how do I keep this going? And I didn't have a good solution, so it didn't happen this summer. But hopefully in the future, Orange Wheel can do rides again. So thank you.
I'll just point out too, we didn't actually have 2021 Bike Awards, so part of this is a carryover, and much deserved, obviously. Our third award is for outstanding advocacy. Individuals who proactively and publicly promote cycling as an important mobility solution for all ages and abilities. I'm very proud and happy to offer this award to Laura Wall and Janet McAllister for the Municipal Ride Along campaign. A lot of us, I didn't write too much about this because I didn't have to. I think they'll say a bit more, and most of you are somewhat familiar. I think it's clear, though, some of the effects that campaign had. We've had one of the councillors that we rode with elected and came here tonight, who joined after the election. We have one of our new board members we did a ride along with in the election. Colleen, thank you. We had a great turnout, such good engagement. Real shout out to Ben on this as well. And all the volunteers who I know will be mentioned as well. But this was a huge undertaking. I certainly didn't have the capacity for it. I'm so proud that it happened, and that I was able to participate in the rides as well. And it was just a great experience, I think, for all of the volunteers and all of the candidates. So congratulations, Laura and Janet.
Well, thank you. And one thing that Janet and I definitely want to underscore is that we were in the position of leading an amazing team, and none of what was accomplished in the ride along would have happened without. And so I do want to read the names and make sure I'm not missing. And many of you are here: Cheryl Ruth, Jack Spence, Haley Tailman. I forgot my glasses. Luis Patricio, Michael McAlpin, John Vereka. Corrine Marshall, Paul Seal, Joanna Capien, Emily Carruthers, Trevor Dias, Krista Groot, Alana Pasternak, Fred Chagon, Dale Inder, Josh Jackson, Max Taylor, Vincent Lambrano III, Christina Bendicas, Andrew Honeyford, Spencer Cook, Jameson Roberts, Andrew Honeyford, and Molly, of course, participated, and Ben added another dimension to it, Ben Durham, with his amazing videography. And the point of the ride along was to start a relationship, and as has just been outlined by Molly, we saw evidence of that tonight with Peter Cuddy joining us here, and the other points that have been identified. And so the relationship has started. We're building on it. And the only thing I would say back to Peter, if he was still here, is we're not going to be patient. We are in a climate emergency. We need to move forward very quickly. This is an issue of affordability, of equity, health, and so forth. So we won't be patient, we'll be respectful, and we've got a wonderful relationship base to build on. So looking forward to that. And Janet?
This project was really fun. The trainings showed a wealth of knowledge about about London and about cycling. And it was, I think everybody had a really good experience that were part of it, so thank you. The other piece to this is that, from my perspective and Laura's perspective, this isn't just about the elections. We can use this model of riding along with other people to help gain support for anything that we're going to be advocating for. So people that you know that aren't comfortable being on the bike trails or in the bike lanes, offer to take them out when the weather's good, when it's not busy, when they can feel safe and have a good experience, and keep those people in mind so that when we do ask for names on a petition or people to speak to council, that you can put their name forward and help out for whatever issue comes up. Okay, thank you very much.